Here we are for the second part of this. Yours truly, 9 just got out of the maxi, so 993, not bad for everything I got, and I'm not gonna eat all at once, but let's get it to put it back. And I got five items. You know, I got the wafers, 125, which the price is increased. I got the peanuts, $3. Then I got the spread, $2.99 spread. It was on special. I got a reduction, and the juice, 99 cents, not bad, less than $10, which I guess I stayed within whatever my budget of consumption for the month of December after paying my rent, paying my electricity bill, paying my rent, paying my electricity bill, and paying, of course, the food that I got now to get it. So rent's paid, electricity bills paid, rock and roll. We're gonna go for the march. We're gonna go all the way. Gonna put this in the backpack. Let's drop it, backpack. Wow, it's getting on that heavy. Let's go for the Dragon versus Trump. Support the Dragon versus Trump initiative. Over time, every time, independent, has to be artist, athlete, philosopher, geopolitical, theoretical analyst, and theorist, and all those extras with the mystics. So I got two. So I got these. We're on special, 225 grams, and mixed nuts, salted mixed nuts, probably good for the holidays. You know, got to stack it up for the holidays. And this little thing was on special, 375 grams, chocolate hazelnut. I love this sweet. So 375 grams for $3 is not bad. 375 grams for less than $3. So it was on special. But wow, the price of coffee just skyrocketed. I got the juice, 99 cents, a dollar for 960 milliliters. So it's not really, the juice is not really a liter, right? It's not really a liter. And I got these two, so five items, and wafers, 175 grams each, 175 grams each. So these wafers went on special, were not on special. They were 125, which is regular price, is still good, and these are one of my favorites. And they were 5 months ago, they were $1, so they went up a bit in price. You know, they went up a bit in price. So here we go. Now we put it on, and we're getting on the go, and let's go. Oh, now it's got like almost 45, more than 44 pounds. Let's get ready. You know we do it over time, every time. Second part of today, December 2nd, on the march, Rainbow Dragon, yours truly, rock and roll. Gonna put the gloves on because it is a bit on the chilly side, on the cold side. Rainbow Dragon P, you know I sing it. Rock and roll it every day, on the coast and Geopolitics, that's my Aspie way. Gotta sing it for the bakers, for the butchers, for the truckers, for those train conductors. Gotta say it for the rock and roller, hit the road. Gotta say it for the butcher. See, this is where we got out from Maxi. This is the second part of this 2nd December March, Dragon versus Trump special March, Dragon versus Trump. Still challenging Donald Trump to a boxing match on the Canadian-US border. I wanted to go to Giant Tiger, but I guess it's gonna be next time for the Giant Tiger, you know. I wanted to go get that twisted cream, you know, which is my anonymous colleague there. Give them a raise, grocery store clerks, LOV to the grocery store clerks of North America, all the grocery store clerks, all those involved in the production, distribution of food, the firefighters, the truckers, the bakers, the butchers, the nurses, the doctors, the welders, the plumbers, the electricians, construction workers, those in the daycares who changed some of those diapers today across North America, LOV. To the bus drivers, train conductors, LOV, those cleaning workers across North America, the workers, North American Collective Workers Party going. Let's get that North American Collective Workers Party going. Independent artist, athlete, philosopher, geopolitical, theoretical analyst, and theorist. And there's you can see my second home, the mountain, from here far off, kilometers away, and that's downtown Montreal. And it looks like it's a bit on the snowy side, so we're gonna go circumvent, go roundabout, and we're gonna drop it in. I'm curious to see, of course, how many people are going to the workout training program. I'm curious if there's anybody at the Publik gym at the Lachine, so that's where I'm heading now. Publik gym, exercise built new, like during the summer, I guess. They built it first time this year, so that's where I'm heading. Lachine in the east, and that's the west. That's the north, and the back of me is the south, and that way. That's the west, south, east, north. So this is where we came in the first video. That shop there called Maxi, so corporate owned, blah since 1984, you know, so I'm looking for all to support the public private partnership here, that Carrefour and Grignon. If you want to situate yourself there, we got the SAQ, shopping mall, and you know, this is where I go for my phone. And that's downtown Montreal, Hawk Island, aka Hawk Island, Montreal, and it's getting a bit on the snowy side, so, oh yeah. Hey, grateful, thankful, my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee. And marching back, I see there's a little bit of that snow, so we also gotta be careful, you know, with my cell phone, how I step it on the steps now, and always encouraging all to work out, train, exercise. Working out, training, exercising has been, is, and shall be my medicine and therapy of choice. Working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will be my medicine and therapy of choice. I always encourage you all to work out, to train, to exercise, and gotta get that starlit heaven, you know. 2nd of December special Dragon versus Storm March, and as a geopolitical theoretical analyst and theorist has predicted what's happening now in the general manner back in 2019. I have proof of work, because that's what I am. Not just an artist, an athlete, a philosopher, a mystic, but also a geopolitical theoretical analyst and theorist who has predicted the current situation in a general manner. I predicted the current situation in a general manner back in 2019, based on several in-depth levels of analysis, but one major one was, of course, that my conclusion and a common denominator of great importance was the fact that many civilizations, nation states, and geopolitical regions were not able to resolve their conflicts in a peaceful manner, that, of course, there's going to be a continuity and they're going to continue in the 21st century. So that was my main premise and one of my main common denominators, and or out of the others, the sub-levels of analysis revolve around that major point, that those conflicts from the 20th century, mainly from the Cold War, were not able to be resolved fully, that there's going to be a continuity in the 21st century. So from what we have seen, of course, that's the major what's happening now in Russia, Ukraine, in Europe, Israel, Palestine, Israel, the Middle East, Israel, the Arab world, however terminology we want to frame it, you know. But of course, potentially China and Taiwan. China and Taiwan might be, now China, People's Republic of China, might invade the ROC, Republic of China, which is known as the island of Taiwan. The island of Taiwan officially is known as the Republic of China. Their conflict dates to the 20th century as well. It's an unresolved 20th century conflict, just like the two aforementioned. So that's it, rock and roll with that. And Donald Trump, of course, now the geopolitical events of today, the main geopolitical events of today, this week, the whole week is going to be the threat to impose tariffs on Canadian, all goods that we export. So I'm putting myself in the shoes of those who, their market depends on the American market, because 25% is exactly what my wafers used to cost. 25% is exactly the amount and percentage that the wafers, my favorite wafers in terms of affordability that I can afford in terms of the budget, that of course they increase 25%. The ones that I just showed at the beginning of the video, I've been discussing in the past, those are the ones that I've been buying for like during COVID, maybe like more than 45 months. And I noticed 5 months ago, around June, that the price went from $1 to $1.25. And of course, that is exactly 25%. So the wafers increased 25%. But now I saw the coffee increased, and it's quite something, because earlier today, I just saw in the news that coffee futures and its prices related to futures, Arabica beans, the ones that are produced, exported, the most popular coffee bean, went up. Record price since 1977. Highest price since 1977. The highest coffee prices since 1977. So that's more than 44 years. That is more than 44 years. So that is considerable. So now the prices have increased again. So in just 3 years, the coffee prices have increased, from my knowledge, 3 times. That one that I saw was $6.99, then $8.99, then $9.99, now $11.99. So it almost doubled in less than 3 years. Because about 2 years ago, I still got it for $6.99. 2 years ago I still got it for $6.99. So now, okay, $6.99 double, it's $13.98, right? $6.99 double times 2, it's $13.98. It's $11.99, so not quite double, but close. Still 44 plus percent. Yeah, way more than 44%. Over, but I mean incrementally, but still, the price, the salaries have not kept up though, right? If you keep in mind that increase, there's not a lot of salaries that increase by that percentage. So this is where you got to calculate, because the salaries maybe increase of 5%, 10%, 5%, 10%, whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be. So whatever the case may be, it could be 5%, 10%, whatever the case may be. But they're not kept up. They have not kept up, the salaries. Not in parity, not even close to what the prices have increased. So that's fundamentally where the main problem lies. The main problem lies in the fact that the majority of salaries have stagnated or have not increased by the percentage to keep in line, to keep in equality with the prices, which have increased disproportionately, in major disproportionate manner from what the salaries have increased by 5, 10, 15%, whilst the majority of the goods have increased by 10, 15, 25 plus percent, 40%, even close to double. Prices of eggs almost double. Price of bacon almost double. Although I'm grateful I got mine on special. It's been rare that I haven't seen that special in a while. $2.99, and there was a limit of 3 packs per citizen. 3 packs per citizen. I got exactly 3, and after each the limit, the price would have increased by $1. But still $3.99. Still the increase would have been good, because usually now it's $5.99. That regular price used to be $2.99 regular price. That bacon. Our special was $1.99 before. So yeah, the prices have increased tremendously during COVID. I had COVID. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. COVID was like death, pestilence, and disease. I had COVID. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. You know, when I had COVID back in 2020, February, March 2020. I thought I was gonna die. I said, I thought that was it for me. When I had COVID in February 2020, February, March 2020, I thought that was it for me, you know. I really thought that was it. I thought that was it. I said, that's it for me, you know, I'm done. But I survived COVID. Here I am, survived COVID, but I thought that was it. February, March. Started around mid-March 2020, I started feeling sick then until March. I thought it was it, that's it. I said, I'm done. But I survived. I got triple vaxxed, 3 vaccines, you know. Now I'm joyous, just financially stressed. Accepted my Asperger's at HFA in the past 45 months or so, and I'm working on it, because for years and years, you know, more than 7 years, people have been told me different situations. Says, you know, you have Asperger's, you know, you have HFA, high functioning autism, you know, you are an Aspie. And I said, no, I'm not an Aspie. But yeah, I am 100%. That's it, that's all. I work on the symptoms. I know I have obsessive interests, special interests, which are obsessive, like the majority of Aspies, and Aspie individuals, their special interests vary, and it could be mathematics, it could be science, it could be geology, it could be geography, it could be whatever the case may be. You could have 2 or 3. You know, myself, the Holy Trinity, Geopolitics 24/7, the study, the analysis of geopolitics 24/7, the study, the analysis of geopolitics. Parallel to geopolitics is, of course, fitness, sports, dancing is my favorite fitness activity, and sports activity. Sports dancing is my favorite fitness and sports activity. And rock and roll on the road of truckers on the go, and there's a little bit of snow. Truckers on the road, there's a little bit of snow. Gotta put those blinders on. Gotta turn those workers on. Gotta turn those pipes. Gotta turn that heat. Gotta put it. Windshield up. Gotta put those shields, cause those. Stop. It's snowing, but you got a little bit of snow there. But there's a little bit of quickie snow, I guess. And here we're going on west. I gotta Saluting the firefighters, LOV butchers, bakers, nurses, all those in the fast food, the grocery store clerks, who serve me a little bit with a good smile, and they need a raise. And although, of course, I'm going to discuss the Dragon versus Trump, because I'm challenging Donald Trump to a boxing match on the Canadian-US border, and have been since 2018 when Donald Trump started imposing tariffs on Canadian aluminum and steel. Donald Trump started imposing tariffs on Canadian aluminum and steel in 2019, 10%. So now the new threat is that when he's going to take oath of office on the first day, 20th of January 2025, he's going to impose tariffs on all ALL goods imported into the US. That means exported from Canada, Quebec, Canada, Montreal. 25% is a lot. Way bigger than the tariffs which were imposed on Canadian aluminum and steel in 2018. More than double. 10 times 2, that's, of course, 10 times 2, that's 20. It's 25 on all this time, not just aluminum and steel. That's the worrisome aspect. That's what worries me, because it's unprecedented. We need to build that North American People's Imperial Coliseum on the Canadian-US border, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum on the Canadian-US border, parallel with the Forgotten Goddess Temple, parallel with the Forgotten Goddess Temple. That's what we need to do, and we need to get it going with that, and we need to, of course, be mindful that we are North Americans. Myself, Quebecer, Canadian, North American, who was born in the USA 3 times, once as a woman. You get that 50-50 now, androgynous. Rainbow Dragon, aka Priestess of the Goddess, Hana. Adrian Hana, Dragon being reborn, died during COVID, nothing that I want to go back to. Kisses got by the trillions. Rock and roll, some of those rock and roll songs on the hit on the daily from sunrise to sunset. And of course, I love my American brothers and sisters. North Americans unite. I served in the United States Army, same army, 156 years apart, 2 different wars. Those 2 different wars, 156 years apart, they were far off from my reincarnations. Was reincarnated, born right here close by the mountain several times. Was born right on the island of Montreal, Hawk Island, Montreal, aka Hawk, H-A-W-K, my totem bird, the hawk. And we're surrounded by a big river. If you can see, of course, you can check it out. Google whatever, Microsoft Bing, Google it and check it out. And it's a big metropolis island surrounded by a big river. And I was born several times, and now it's December 2nd, 2024. December 2nd, 2024. Just celebrated the greater feast. Bury me with Papa Crowley up in New Jersey, a third of me up in the city of the pyramids. We can build a new pyramid right here. Gotta salute the truckers going east, west, north, south. And that truck, salute health, and the train conductors delivering all those goods. I'm always, when I integrate, of course, now my geopolitical analysis, and in terms of seeing, of course, in a more abstract manner, all the highways of North American Collective, the big cities. At the same time, at this point in second, of course, there's knowledge and information about all the transportation systems, the highways. Gotta salute Saints and Mellow V to the workers. Public workers, all the brains and the muscle to build the bridges, to build the aqueducts, the sewers underneath, to have public sanitation. And of course, it takes civilization is a privilege, eh? Civilization is a privilege, and we got all these that we have to construct more. Construction workers, LOV. The construction workers build the houses and build the houses complexes with the skyscrapers, and we're going to build some more in the 21st century. We're going to rebuild, and we're going to play defense like that hardball ball, aka blackout ball. Hardball ball, aka blackout ball. Hardball ball, aka blackout ball. Defense like that hardball ball, aka blackout ball, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. And salutation, bakers, butchers, cooks, those in the fast food now, doing some of that good. Cheeseburgers, hamburgers, salads, fries, pizzas, all those in the fast food industry. I really admire, I'm a fan, I guess. I wouldn't last that long, I wouldn't last more than a day, I guess. Some things, my abilities, I guess not that fully 100% equipped in certain tasks or work, I guess, that's why our strengths balance as individuals, part of the collective, as individuals, part of a collective, as individuals, part of a collective, right? As individuals, we're part of a collective, Quebecers, Canadian, North Americans, and You know, going now, utilizing this public road and meditating what's underneath. The sewers built in the 20th century, even before. All the brains and muscle, the labor. Lots of labor, lots of work, salutations. It takes a little bit of that old school. Whoop. I slipped, but I didn't fall. We gotta get that fleur-de-lis, a little bit of rainbow with it. We gotta play that fleur-de-lis, a bit of rainbow with it, a little bit of rainbow with it, fleur-de-lis, you know. We gotta put a little bit of rainbow with it, fleur-de-lis, you know. A little bit of rainbow with that fleur-de-lis. And we gotta get for Quebec here, la belle province. Quebec here, la belle province. Quebecer, Canadian, North American, you know. We gotta put it for the Quebec, and we gotta put it on for the Quebec, and Quebecer, Canadian, North American, who's right here, who is a Quebecer, who is a Canadian, who is a North American. You know, this is my home, and many past lives, many incarnations, and I got you back here, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, you know. We gotta get it on that drill, and sometimes we just gotta circumvent, and we gotta meditate on all the privileges which we have as civilization. Gotta give some LOV to Hydro-Quebec workers. So much brains, so much muscle just to build all those dams. All these lights you see come from clean, zero pollution, zero emission energy. That's something to be proud. Salutations, and hey, good job. Hydro-Quebec workers now across Quebec, La Belle Province, we're 10 million in La Belle Province, Quebec. Gotta send you some LOV, Hydro-Quebec workers, you know. Thinking about them, how they're doing labor with their hands, changing some bulbs, some electric, some pliers, some brains, and some muscles. I can only imagine, and by my knowledge, wisdom, understanding that, you know, we have this privilege. Myself, I'm doing this video with clean, zero pollution, zero emission energy. Civilization really is a privilege, brothers and sisters. Civilization really is a privilege, brothers and sisters. Now I'm smiling, I'm joyous, I'm in solidarity with the workers, the nurses also, those also in the daycares who change some diapers, I gotta say. Brother Bill Blair, Minister of National Defense and Security Forces, my uncles and Public Security of Quebec, Minister of National Defense, Minister of Security. I say we got police, security forces and armed forces, LOV. Nobody's perfect. We're institutions, part of the individual. We gotta get my public-private partnership institutions in the 21st century on the table. And I go say with LOV, Canadian Armed Forces and Bill Blair, you gotta go chase some diapers in the daycares, you know. That'll be a new Dragon Army protocol, because who you putting on the uniform and carry weapons and armed forces, lethal force to defend? First and foremost, the children, the kids, the youth. They're innocent. The youth, the children, they're innocent at least. You know, I don't know, my karma, your karma. I've suffered, struggled, been depressed, suicidal, almost died. They tried to take me out a few times. I guess. Now I'm putting myself in solidarity with all North Americans, workers, let's get that North American workers, North American Collective Workers Party, the North American Collective Workers Party, North American Collective Workers Party, the NA, North American C, NAC, North American C Collective Workers WP, NAC, WP, NAC, WP, Black, White, and Rainbow, Black, White, and Rainbow, Black, White, and Rainbow, played 24/7. Androgynous, pansexual, laying the foundations of the First Kingdom Empire here. The North American Collective with trillions of kisses. Trillions of kisses. Look at all those truckers going east, west, north, south, LOV. Hey, that's 300, that's 300. That makes me think of my workout, which of course it's also known as the 300 workout. Is the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, the General War Integrated Total Body Training System. Truckers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks. Place myself in solidarity, as I've been for many years. You can see hundreds of my workout videos during COVID. My brothers and sisters, Canadians, the king is absent. The king is absent. It's me, you, and us here. 40 million, and all who come to join us. We're an emergent collective civilization, which is not totally divorced but is distinct from Western civilization. We're a new civilizational complex, North America. We got to implement the HOC, Defense Initiative Protocol, HAC. Build more satellites, build 44 tunnels, build 44 tunnels, 44 tunnels in case of a thermonuclear war. Along with that, tunnels, got to get that Operation Northern Scorpion, and Brother Bill Blair, Minister of National Defense, Uncle with LOV say we got to implement a new protocol to change some diapers in the daycares, because hope we're not running any mercenaries. Let them stay overseas, don't cross the Atlantic, neither the Pacific. I don't want to have nothing to do with no business whatsoever with mercenaries, mercs. I don't want to have no business, nothing to do with mercs. I have no business, nothing to do with mercs. I said that's all rock and roll, and gotta get it for the now. And I know somebody's hugging. I just saw youth dancing in the, doing a little bit of dance steps. Teenagers, and I smiled. I said, hey, that's my favorite sport. Keep it up. There's safety, security, and kind of laughed. I'd give people permission to laugh at me. I know with Asperger's, being my mannerisms, bodily movements, a little bit of clumsiness, and can be a bit on the funny side, so I don't mind now. I learned to live with humor and comedy, learn to laugh at myself sometimes also, but some things are serious, like the threat of World War III and the threat to impose 25% tariffs on Canadian aluminum and steel. Let's go, Trump, me and you on the Canadian-US border. Let's go, me and you on the Canadian-US border. Let's go, me and you on the Canadian-US border. And we got to find the alternative to those tariffs, and the alternative is my theory, the DRT, debt refusal theory, for the creation of the UA, which I'm now going to discuss. And why do I say that is the only solution? Because the fact that we pay $46.5 billion in public, in debt servicing, interest on the public debt. You heard that correct. You can check with Tiff Mackler, my auntie Christia Freeland. We pay on the public debt servicing has reached catastrophic levels. It's $46.5 billion. The amount we pay on the public debt, $46.5 billion. $46.5 billion we pay on the public debt. That is the amount which we pay in interest on the public debt. This is not sustainable. It more than doubled during COVID. In 2020, 2021, it was 20.3 billion. 20.3 billion times 2, it's 40.6. 20.3 billion times 2, it's 40.6. 20.3 billion times 2, it's 40.6. It's now 46.5. 46.5. That is the amount of interest we pay on the public debt. That is the amount of interest we pay on the public debt. That is the amount of interest we pay on the public debt. That's the amount of interest we pay on the public debt. 46.5 billion. That is the amount of interest we pay on the public debt. It's a staggering number. It's more than double. There's no other way out of this. Paradoxically, due to having Asperger's, HFA, and having, of course, my obsessive interest, which is geopolitics, being a geopolitical theoretical analyst and theorist. When you study geopolitics, you have to have some knowledge of public finance, and the fact that now we pay $46.5 billion. From 2020, 2021, it was 20.3. That's more than double. Do the math. 20.3 times 2. That would have been 40.6. It's 46.5 billion. A billion has 9 zeros. A billion is 1,000 million. So the number is 46,000 million that we pay in interest only. Interest, not in interest. Not even the principal, on the public debt. You realize this is a catastrophe waiting to happen. We're not going to be able to finance the garbage collectors, which thank you. Today, Monday, I got the recycling early in the morning, and I took out the garbage, saluting the athletes, because they're athletes as well. Those who pick up the garbage in those big machines, brains of muscle, load them up. Public sanitation, go. Public sanitation, go. Public sanitation, go. Go, public sanitation, go. We gotta get it for the go. And we're not gonna be able to pay the firefighters, the public sanitation, all public services, public security even. It's about to have a major catastrophe and collapse. My DRT theory, brothers and sisters, standing for D for debt, D, debt, R, refusion, T theory, is the only solution. You can argue all you want. But my DRTT, paradoxically, is the only solution. It starts with me now, with me and you and us. And that's what I would have been loved to be there with Trudeau Friday, and having the dinner with Trump. Friday, that dinner with Trump. Friday, that dinner with Trump. Friday, that dinner with Trump. Having that dinner with Trump and Trudeau to discuss the DRT, because it's for the North America, Canada first, United States, and Mexico if they will. The DRT, we got to get in par with what they did in Europe, because my DRT, debt refusion theory, DRT debt refusion theory also contains monetary this is in French, is a demolition permit. I guess all of this, maybe we're going to be converted into a Dragon Army barracks. You see, converted into a Dragon Army barracks instead. And Dancing Goddess Army. Yep, Dragon Army barracks. Security service coast to coast. 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 The DRT debt refusion theory. Oh yeah, definitely could be converted into even social housing. You can house the social here. Social housing for whatever the case may be, the homeless, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, social housing or Dragon Army, I could see converted into a big complex for the homeless. It can be. It takes the will and the doing, of course, the sweat. It's like the saying goes, some wisdom. In the old school, it takes a little bit of old school takes a little bit of old school a little bit, it takes a little bit of old school wisdom, but in the old school wisdom is easier said than done. Now, hard it was for me to lose more than 80 pounds, between 80 and 93 pounds. I could see hundreds of my workout videos, no joke, eh? So back to what I was saying, the DRT, debt refusion theory for the creation of the U is the only solution. I'm going to try to explain it with simple words, because due to my neurological mental divergent condition known as HFA, high functioning autism known as Asperger's, there is a tendency to use overly sophisticated intellectual academic verbose vernacular, which it seems that is not in proposition to whatever the discussion is at hand, and it can be explained in simpler terms, in other words. So the DRT debt refusion theory, my DRT theory is the only solution, again, to the fact that paying the interest more than doubled in just 3 years, from 2020-2021 fiscal year to 2023-2024 fiscal year. So during COVID, of course, we had to initiate and implement certain programs to sustain the population in crisis mode, and now we have another crisis due to that. So it's the DRT which has to be implemented, my debt refusion theory. There's no other solution. It more than doubled. It's about to collapse soon, and we have to implement the DRT. So the debt refusion theory to create the UE, the universal exchanger, So I'm going to explain it as simple as possible. So the simple as possible is that my DRT theory also includes monetary integration theory. So in my theory, the DRT also includes monetary integration theory. In my theory, the DRT also inside of it, integrated in my DRT theory, is also monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory is exactly the financial theory which was implemented in Europe. The Germans, they destroyed their central bank and the Deutsche Mark, the Italians, their lira, the French, the franc, and they destroyed their all central banks and all currencies, and they created a new central bank to issue a new currency. And the currency, of course, is the euro. The euro. And they have the ECB, the European Central Bank, they created in the 90s. So that's what they did in the European Union. That's what they did. So my DRT theory includes that theory, and of course, that's what we're going to have to be doing. We're going to have to implement my theory, because we pay 46.5 billion in interest only. So there's no way out of this. Paradoxically, I'm putting it on the table parallel to my trillions of kisses created from the forgotten goddess. And here's the DRT debt refusing to explain. So we're going to take all the public and the private debt. My debt is $10,000 to the RBC Royal Bank of Canada. So all the debt, public and private debt, Canada coast to coast, all that debt, we're going to convert it to US dollar, the value of the US dollar at that point in time. It starts with me and you here today. Me and you doing this video in real time. While truckers, butchers, bakers, nurses, grocery store clerks, cleaning workers, XYZ, all workers of the North American Collective are doing some business, or somebody's making some love, somebody's dancing, XYZ, all the activities, and Hydro-Quebec workers, and XYZ's happening now. December 2nd, Montreal, Hawk Island location, North America. We're going to take all the public and the private debt. All the private and the public debt, we're going to refuse it. So all the public and the private debt, including my 10,000, we're going to convert it to US dollars, into US dollars, right? So all that money is going to be converted into US dollars. Coast to coast, Canada first, Canada first. All the public private debt of Canada converted into US dollars. That's going to be added, if Canada first, if they will, with the United States, Mexico, Jamaica, Haiti. Haiti, Jamaica, and Cuba is a paradox, but they're part of North America. Haiti is as well, Jamaica, Cuba, Dominican Republic, and the islands, and Mexico is also part of North America. So North America first, but Canada first, United States second. In other words, North America thereafter, and all others who will. It can be expanded transatlantic as well, and the BIS, Bank of International Settlements, even to include NATO member countries, NATO, North Atlantic Organization member states, NATO member countries. So all that debt converted to US dollars is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. So all the debt, the public and the private debt, is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. It's going to be in the trillions. And we're going to issue a new currency called the UE, right? So we're going to issue a new currency called the UE. U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. Based on the value of the US dollar, based on the value of the US dollar, based on the value of the US dollar. So all that currency, all that money, is going to be converted into US dollar. All that money is going to be converted into US dollar, into US dollars. So all the debt, public and private debt, my 10,000 included, coast to coast, converted into US dollars. All that debt, we're going to add it all up. All that public private debt is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. And we're going to create a new central bank, and we're going to issue a new currency, a new money, based on the value of the US dollar, called the UE. The UE. U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. Because that's what money is. Money is a function to buy, trade, buy, sell, buy, sell. That's fundamentally the function of money is. It's a universal exchange unit to buy services, trade services, buy, like I just bought those 5 items, the sweets, the wafers, after my 5-hour march today, marching, workout, dance, and meditation with the video that I'm doing as a YouTuber, geopolitical, theoretical analyst and theorist, philosopher, artist, athlete, and mystic, The DRT is the only solution. So we're going to take all the public and the private debt, my 10,000, your 10,000, we're going to add it up. All the debt converted to US dollar is going to be of North American countries, Canada first, United States second, and then Mexico, and if they will, the other countries of North America, it could be even expanded. So all that money is going to be financing. All that money is going to be the initial money supply, right? In circulation, all the money in circulation. The money in circulation for this new bank, North America, which we're going to issue a new currency called the UE. U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. The universal exchange unit. We have to do it. With all that money, we're going to be able to mass finance the reconstruction of the North American complex. infrastructure, bridges like this, bridges like this. So we're gonna rebuild the infrastructure, bridges, highways, mass finance public transit, mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise, because has helped me. Give some UEs for my workout, give some UEs for my workout, give some UEs for my workout. Mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise. Mass finance citizens for mass tourism to cross Canada or North American complex, to, like I did in 2017, and I came out of being depressed and suicidal back then, and I established a strong esprit de corps with my fellow Canadians. My fellow Canadians, a strong esprit de corps ever since, and I'm gonna cross it on the side. So I'm gonna be able to mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise. We're going to be able to mass finance citizens to work out. We're going to be able to mass finance citizens to train, to exercise. We're going to be able to mass finance citizens to do lots of activities, cultural activities. We're going to be building, constructing, opening 44 tunnels across North America. 44, the number after 43, before 45. 44 tunnels across North America in case of a thermonuclear war, in case of a thermonuclear war, in case of a thermonuclear war, right? In case of a thermonuclear war, which is possible, just for the continuity based on the theoretical paper of initiatives and protocols which I've written in the past, more than 7 years. I think 7 years ago I started, or 6 years, and then I restarted it and retook it. And she's gonna cross, she's gonna go down there, bend my knees a bit, and watch it for the road so that there's no bikes. But sometimes there is. I guess it's the 2nd of December, so it's less and less, But there's normally during the spring and summer days it still be sunny like this. So we're gonna be able to do lots of money, lots of investment, lots of public and private. It's a public-private partnership, but we have to implement the DRT. There's no way around it. The debt refusion theory for the creation of the universal exchange unit, brothers and sisters, is the only solution. There's no other solution but the DRT, debt refusion theory, to create the universal exchange unit, to rebuild infrastructure like that, bridges, open up tunnels in case of a thermonuclear war, to have them stacked with goods, and cans that are good for years, and other such necessities for the continuity of the civilizational complex of North America, for the continuity of the North American civilizational complex. That was kind of the theoretical paper which I've written. There's initiatives and protocols and strategies, citizen integrated strategies for public-private partnership in case of a North American civilizational continuity, in case of a thermonuclear war. So, we have those there, that those trucks go, and they're going with some goods, and there's trucks across North America which go with some goods, and probably some of them inside they have cans, beans, and whatever, canned food, tomatoes, and even of course beef, and pasta. It could be canned, all sorts of canned tuna, and canned food, basically canned food, edible canned food that doesn't really have to be cooked, doesn't have to be cooked. That's what I envision putting in those tunnels based on the Montreal Underground City, which was built, of course, in the 20th century. So a little bit of tunnels modeled on that model, and a little bit on the Tokyo Underground, which is a huge mega complex underneath the sewer system of Tokyo. And, sometimes we got to be inspired by certain mega construction blocks like the Hydro-Quebec, and got to salute Hydro-Quebec workers. But there's a lot of work to do in North America, and it starts with me and you here. It starts with my march, my meditation for the farmers, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the grocery store clerks, and all those involved in the production, distribution of food. I have my dream. So I'm laying the foundation in real time with 718 trillions of kisses, 718 trillions of kisses. So I'm laying the foundations with 718 trillions. Trillion is 1,000 billion, is a million, is a billion, is 1,000 million. So trillions has 12 zeros. So from the forgotten goddess, I got lots of kisses to give to all my allies and armies. Pledge your allegiance, legions. Willingly loving allies and armies, pledge your allegiance, legions. Willingly loving allies and armies, pledge your allegiance, legions. That red flashing light. Congratulations in the cold, going some of those bikes. Pedal, 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 good for the exercise. Always love to see people working out, engaging in physical activity, sports. Dancing is my favorite sport. Dancing is my favorite fitness activity. The DRT is the only solution, Detrofusion TV, for the creation of the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit. That's it, that's all for the English for this version. I'm gonna switch to that French now, because we're in la belle province. But not to be saying that we're gonna be able to rebuild a lot of infrastructure by the DRT. Like this one, bridges. Lots of the infrastructure of North America, including above the earth, like this one, mega structures and highways, and underneath. And underneath as well, the aqueduct, civil engineers, you know. It's got a lot of work, it takes a lot of work, it takes some brains and some muscle, you know. It takes some brains and some muscle, but we cannot base everything on strength. We cannot base everything on strength and muscle. We have to have levels, layers of sweetness and kindness and understanding and love, you know. It's not all about fight. It's not all about fight. Gotta get some of that love. Otherwise, what are we fighting to save civilization for, you know? Let the nukes roll off. Let the nukes roll off. Somebody not making love now. Somebody not being kind. Somebody being kind to another. Give them a good hug. Twerking on somebody's face. That could be an act of love. Hey, do it to me. Black, white, and rainbow for world peace. Hey, do it to me. Black, white, and rainbow for world peace. Hey. Do it to me, black, white, and rainbow for world peace. And ask me, but I have lusts. I am androgynous pansexual, but I have HFA, high functioning autism, but I lust. I have sexual energies and strange, weird sexuality as well. Probably gonna laugh at my sexual fantasies. Probably gonna be like, that's comedy. Sexual fantasies are more like comedy, my own, and more like comedy. No need to spy on me. People's Republic of China. Don't cross the ocean, spies of China. Stay over there, don't cross the ocean, no need. Stay over the Pacific, no need to cross the Pacific. And spies of Russia or whatever else. Stasi, Securitate are gone. 1989, you know, but they were notorious. Secret police for many decades. They ruled in secret. Many decades they ruled. Securitate and Stasis, East, Socialist, Communist, Secret Police, Securitate and Stasis, whatever the case may be. I don't want to go into that, but supposedly the Securitate had, like, at one point between 1971 and 1989, or 1969 and 1989 till the end, December 25th, they had 4 out of 5 citizens under surveillance. So that's a lot. That's more than 80%, right? 80%, 4 out of 5, that's a lot. Almost constant. Microphones and phones, but even now, theoretically, it's possible. You know, we got Pegasus. No need to spy on me. I got a tiny little scar. I scratch it sometimes. And financially stressed. Got trillions of kisses, trillions of marching steps, trillions of stars. Crowley, my Avenged 7x7 sevenfold song. My Avenged 7x7 fold song. Maybe Avenged 7x7 sevenfold song. That's it. That's all rock and roll. The DRT dancing goddess. In the Dragon Kingdom, I support a dream. My dream is fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership, and I would almost love to be there with Justin Trudeau Friday, and Trump would discuss whatever was discussed. And it's alarming, it's worrisome. 25% tariffs, to impose tariffs on all ALL goods imported from Canada. That means that goods that we export can be very problematic. That's exactly like my wafers went from $1 to $1.25, because that's 25 cents. okay, of every dollar. That's $25 of every $100. So it's a big, it's a fourth, a quarter. It's a quarter. So yeah, from a chocolate bar, you lose a quarter. A cake, you lose a quarter. Bread, you lose a quarter. So pizza, you lose of 16 slices, you lose 4. 20 slices, you lose 5. I mean, I'm going into fractions now, but that's what it is. Just to practice a little bit in terms of the 25% of what it would be in terms of damaging to the economy. I think North American Union best. My dream, the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, which is fundamentally for the Democratic Republic of North America. King is absent within the Republic of Canada. Dragon Army, Dancing Goddess Army. Public-private partnerships. 21st century, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. We're gonna play that defense like that hardball ball, aka blackout ball, aka blackout ball, hardball ball, aka the blackout ball, like the 49ers who lost. My Niners lost. Give some charity, billions, and I would have loved to have billions to go just distribute to random people incognito after Trump got officially elected on the 6th of November until the 23rd. If I would have had some billions and millions, I would have went incognito and gave some 50,000, 44,000, 50,000. Go incognito. Millionaires, billionaires, artists, millionaires, multi-millionaires, artists, athletes. Go. December. Go put a hoodie on, get dirty, and give lots of thousands. Give somebody a second chance. You know, this is your second chance. With this 50,000, you can start over again. I would have done that. So, French now. I'm financially stressed myself, so grateful, thankful. Rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee. Joyous on the march. Hey, Québécois, Québécoises, votre dragon arc-en-ciel. Hey, s'en va la marche. Une marche, entraînement physique et de la danse, je vous encourage, je dois commencer. Avec la gratitude. Mon loyer est payé, je viens de payer mon loyer dimanche, on est le 2 décembre, hier j'ai payé mon loyer, le 2 décembre, j'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité. J'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, puis j'ai du café, puis comme vous avez vu, mais je viens de m'acheter des gaufres. Et ça a augmenté le prix en juin 2024, ça fait déjà plus que 5 mois, mais justement, je parlais que ça a augmenté d'exactement 25 cents, ce qui est bien sûr le quart. Bien sûr, c'est le quart. C'est exactement ce que Donald Trump, le futur président, à partir du 20 janvier 2025, il a dit qu'il va imposer des tarifs sur cette fois-ci, sur tous les biens importés. Ça veut dire ce qu'on exporte du Québec, du Canada vers les États-Unis, ce qui est la plupart de notre commerce externe et interne, c'est vraiment du commerce avec les États-Unis. C'est vraiment du commerce avec les États-Unis, principalement en tant qu'import-export, mais c'est nos seuls voisins, en effet, en théorie. C'est sûr que dans l'Arctique, il y aurait comme la Russie, là, dans l'Arctique, là, mais c'est une autre histoire. Mais bon. Puis justement, mes gaufres que j'achète, mais c'est quand même un bon prix encore, mais c'est quand même une grosse documentation, parce que si vous pensez que ça coûtait $1 avant juin 2024, pendant un couple d'années, pendant plus que 45 mois, dans la COVID, pendant bien longtemps, pendant 3 ans et demi et plus, je payais $1 seulement. Fait que là, en juin 2024, il y a 5 mois, ça a augmenté de 25 cents, c'est passé d'$1 à 1,25. Fait que 1,25 moins $1, ça donne exactement 25 cents. Fait que c'est exactement 25%. Parce que $1, c'est 100 cents. Puis 25 cents, c'est bien 25% dans le terme de pourcentage. Fait que c'est ça. Exactement qu'est-ce que Donald Trump dit qu'il va faire. Imposer 25% en 2018. pour la première fois dans l'histoire du commerce canado-états-unien, Donald Trump a imposé des tarifs sur l'aluminium. Puis l'acier du Québec et du Canada, si vous en souvenez, l'acier et l'aluminium du Québec, du Québécois, du Canada et du Québec, on fait partie. Là. Bien sûr, 10%. 25, c'est bien plus que 10. Là. 10 fois 2, c'est 20. Fait que c'est plus que le double. Mais sur tous les biens, pas juste sur l'acier. Puis l'aluminium, comme en 2018. Puis en 2018, c'est là que j'ai commencé à challenger, à faire appel à Donald Trump de me combattre là, dans un combat de boxe là, sur la frontière Canada-États-Unis pour bâtir comme un aréna, un rink de boxe en acier, puis en aluminium fait conjoint Canada-États-Unis, du Canada et des États-Unis ensemble sur la frontière. Puis maintenant, je fais appel pour construire, bâtir le temple de la déesse oubliée parallèlement au Colisée du peuple, le Colisée impérial du peuple nord-américain. Le Colisée impérial du peuple nord-américain. Le Colisée impérial du peuple nord-américain sur la frontière canado-états-unienne. Puis je pense que mes théories et mes propos sont une alternative. J'aurais aimé ça être là présent au dîner quand Donald Trump puis Justin Trudeau, quand il était bien sûr, Justin Trudeau, quand il était bien sûr en train de se faire, je sais pas qu'est-ce qu'ils ont mangé, mais en train de discuter bien sûr de bien des choses, mais surtout bien sûr le principal de l'imposition des tarifs, parce que ça peut être une guerre du commerce, puis déjà qu'on a bien des commerces, moi je pense qu'on devrait éviter le plus possible, puis on a des solutions, je pense que j'emmène un couple de solutions à la table. Mais ma trinité de théorie, en tant que philosophe, artiste, athlète et analyste théoricien en géopolitique, c'est pas mal 24 sur 24 la géopolitique chez nous, même quand je fais mes marches d'entraînement physique, je fais des méditations dans le contexte nord-américain, par exemple. Parce que mes protocoles, initiatives sont pour l'Amérique du Nord, qu'est-ce que j'appelle en tant que philosophe, le complexe de civilisation de l'Amérique du Nord. L'Amérique du Nord. L'Amérique du Nord. Parce qu'on est des Nord-Américains, tu sais. On a des intérêts communs, on a un destin commun, on est des Nord-Américains. Je suis Québécois, Canadien, Nord-Américain. Personnellement, je ne me considère pas en étant un membre d'une diaspora ici chez nous, puis j'accueille le plus possible tous ceux qui viennent nous rejoindre, puis ça fait aussi, il faut qu'on fasse un effort aussi, là. Si on veut l'apprentissage du français, si on veut accueillir les gens, puis faire l'appréciation du français, il faut qu'on fasse, nous aussi, notre effort individuel. Moi, c'est par le rock'n'roll, la poésie, la communication des arts, bien sûr. C'est des choses que moi je fais, bien sûr. Mais ça prend les deux, tu sais. C'est sûr que ça prend les deux, tu sais. On peut pas faire juste d'une manière, tu sais. Si on le fait pas, tu sais. Si moi je le fais pas, vous le faites pas. Si on le fait pas, ça prend l'individu. Ça prend l'individu puis le collectif, bien sûr. Il fait quand même froid un peu. Je pense que ça descend, ça commence à sentir l'hiver. Moi, ça me dérange pas l'hiver. Moi, ça me dérange pas. Je suis 4 saisons. L'hiver, ça me dérange pas. C'est juste que des fois, il faut juste pousser un peu, continuer l'entraînement physique. Puis vous savez, pour moi-même, je vous encourage, je répète, là, c'est tellement bon pour la santé mentale, pour la santé du corps. Puis quand j'ai traversé le Canada en 2017, c'est là, après ça, que j'ai commencé à m'entraîner. J'ai perdu plus entre 80 et 93 livres. Puis, vous savez, j'étais en dépression, j'étais suicidaire. J'ai traversé le Canada, mais quand j'ai traversé le Canada, j'ai eu un réveil. Puis, j'ai fondé un esprit de corps solide. J'ai fondé un esprit de corps solide avec les Canadiens, les Québécois. Vous êtes ma famille. Puis, avec les Nord-Américains aussi, parce qu'on a 2 océans. Puis, mes intérêts, mes propos, c'est fondamentalement un appel à un partenariat privé, un PPP, quand je dis soutenir le rêve de votre dragon arc-en-ciel, qui est fondamentalement un appel à un partenariat public-privé, le royaume de la déesse et du dragon qui danse. Et quand je dis le royaume de la déesse et du dragon qui danse, le royaume de la déesse et du dragon qui danse, c'est fondamentalement pour l'Amérique du Nord. Pour la République, écoutez, le roi est absent. Le roi est absent. Ça prend la République dans le 21e siècle. Ça prend la République. C'est des choses que, bien sûr, moi aussi, bien sûr, il faut que je fasse en tant que artiste, athlète, philosophe, en tant qu'analyste et théoricien en géopolitique. J'ai des choses que j'ai pas. Je suis moins habile dans d'autres choses. Je suis comme ci, comme ça, je suis médiocre, je suis pas bon dans certains aspects. Les interactions sociales, je vis avec mes symptômes, l'autisme hautement fonctionnel, l'Asperger's. Je suis Aspi, j'ai l'Asperger's, aussi connu sous le nom de l'autisme hautement fonctionnel. Ça veut dire que je fonctionne, puis j'ai l'Asperger's, mais j'ai des conditions de neurodivergence. Ce n'est pas une maladie mentale. J'ai souffert beaucoup à cause, j'ai perdu des emplois, puis il y a beaucoup de malcompréhension vis-à-vis cette condition de neurodivergence. Cette condition de neurodivergence. Ça a quand même cette condition de neurodivergence, ça a quand même donné des bénédictions par la malédiction. J'ai souffert beaucoup à cause. Puis je vous amène sur la table la théorie de la refusion de la dette québécoise. Il n'a pas d'autre solution en ce moment. Puis là, que je suis en train de parler, justement, je vais faire une méditation, puis je vais vous la discuter, vous la présenter, vous la discuter encore. Parce que c'est ça que je vais discuter avec Donald Trump et Justin Trudeau. Puis bien sûr, d'autres choses, comme la théorie puis des analyses pour bâtir, construire 44 tunnels, inspiré par le village souterrain de Montréal, le village souterrain de Montréal. Dans le cas d'une guerre nucléaire, pour la continuité de la civilisation du complexe nord-américain, pour qu'on continue la vie, la civilisation en Amérique du Nord. C'est possible qu'il y ait une guerre nucléaire, là. C'est possible, on ne sait pas, c'est possible. C'est possible, là. C'est possible qu'il y ait une guerre nucléaire. Je ne peux pas le savoir à 100%, on ne peut pas le savoir. Qu'est-ce que je sais exactement, sans doute, c'est qu'en 2019, en octobre puis en novembre, j'ai fait des analyses profondes en géopolitique et puis j'ai conclu que l'humanité se dirige vers une conflagration internationale, dans d'autres mots, se dirige vers une troisième guerre mondiale. Parce que c'est ça, je suis un analyste et théoricien en géopolitique, puis vous savez, avec l'autisme hautement fonctionnel, aussi connu comme l'Asperger's, nous, les Aspi, qu'on vit avec cette condition de neurodivergence, encore une fois, on a des intérêts obsessifs. Fait que ces intérêts obsessifs, intérêts spéciaux, ça nous préoccupe la vie, le jour, le quotidien, très intense, c'est du matin au soir. Puis moi, c'est ma trinité d'intérêts obsessifs. C'est la géopolitique 24/24, l'analyse, la théorie en géopolitique, le sport, l'entraînement physique, le sport que je préfère, c'est la danse, l'entraînement physique que je préfère, c'est la danse avec le rock'n'roll. C'est le rock'n'roll, la danse, soit le sport et l'entraînement physique. C'est la même chose parce que j'aime ça faire l'entraînement physique et la danse. C'est mon entraînement, conditionnement physique et sport préféré que je préfère, mais je fais des pompes de l'entraînement physique, la marche, le rock'n'roll, la géopolitique. Fait que j'en ai la trinité de votre dragon arc-en-ciel, la trinité, sainte trinité, les trois. Géopolitique, sport, rock'n'roll. Ou sport, danse, rock'n'roll, sport, entraînement physique, géopolitique. Ça préoccupe depuis des années. Du matin au soir, avec mes petits rituels, les symptômes de l'Asperger's qui sont un peu étranges, les communications verbales, non verbales, et toutes ces choses-là, qu'on fait des petits rituels, qu'on inspecte des objets très proches, qu'on fixe sur certains détails qui